So Mark is asking, were the morning stars referred to in Job 38:7 also angels or perhaps beings from an extraordinarily origin?
Yes, Mark. The answer is yes. But let's dive into it. And I love questions like this. So Mark is talking about Job 38, verse 7. Let's pull that up and take a look. So Job 38, verse 7. And it says, maybe Wendy, you could read that one.
When the morning stars sang together and all the sons of God shouted for joy.
So definitely not a complete sentence, but there we see that there's reference to morning stars, and then the next part of that verse is referring to the angels. And what we could be seeing here is what many refer to as Hebrew parallelism. Hebrews always like to say something one way, and then they'll say it a second time a different way, using different words. And this actually is a valuable tool for reading the Bible, because you might understand one concept, but you might not realize that there's this other concept related to it that actually might mean the same thing. So always bear that in mind when you're reading the Bible. Are you seeing Hebrew parallelism? Like, the Bible isn't just being redundant for nothing. First, this was the way they were poetic. So this is an art form you're looking at, but also, again, it's great for establishing good theology. So yeah, here, morning stars, and it's connected to sons of God. So who are the sons of God, right? What does that mean? Now, if we start the book of Job, Job 1:6, we get a little bit behind the scenes of who is or who might not be a son of God. So Job 1 verse 6 reads, "Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord." And then it says, "And Satan also came among them." So the way this is worded here, does it look like Satan is a son of God, or he's sort of excluded from the sons of God? It's a good question, right? So it says the sons of God came, and then Satan came also. So I would say the way it's worded there, it's suggesting Satan is not one of those sons of God. It could be what reasons? Why is he not a son of God? Let's talk about that. But so Satan is an angel. He's a fallen angel, but he's not a son of God. So Revelation 12, verses 3-4. Let's start there. It says, "And another sign appeared in heaven. Behold, a great fiery red dragon, having 7 heads and 7 horns and 7 diadems on his head. His tail drew a third of the stars from heaven and threw them to the earth." So there's a dragon throwing down a third of the stars. And then we jump to verse 7. It says, "And war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought, but they did not prevail, nor was a place found for them in heaven any longer. So the great dragon was cast out, that serpent of old, called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. He was cast down to earth, and his angels were cast out with him." So as we see here in even just Revelation 12, we had this imagery of a dragon, and then stars. It said it grabbed a third of the stars and cast them down. And if you keep reading that verse, it said that dragon was none other than Satan. And then it talks about how Satan and his angels that were with him were cast out of heaven. So stars in this Revelation 12 are used to convey angels, but then you have these fallen stars, these ones that are cast out. That is Satan and his lot of demons now. And we hear like in Jude 1:6, "And the angels who did not keep their proper domain, but left their own abode, God has reserved in everlasting chains under darkness for the judgment of the great day." So they've given up their proper domain, no longer home in heaven. Now, interestingly, related on this, going on, our angel stars, Isaiah 14:12, and then verses 16 to 17. Let's take a look at those. So, verse 12, it says, "How you are fallen, you fallen from heaven, O Lucifer." And by the way, what does Lucifer mean? It means morning star. And a lot of people say that's a reference to the planet Venus. But the morning star, and then the next words there of Isaiah 14, verse 12, it says, "Son of the morning." If you go back to Job 38:7 talked about the morning stars. And here is the morning star. It says that was Satan, Lucifer. You who weakened the nations, those who see you will gaze at you and consider you, saying, "Is that the man who made the earth tremble, who shook kingdoms, who made the world as a wilderness and destroyed its cities, who did not open the house of his prisoners?" What's that about? Why? What's the big deal about this fallen Satan and then him being cast down? Well, he is now the ruler of this world. Or maybe not anymore. I take it back. He was. After the fall of man, if you remember, God made Adam and Eve basically to be the rulers of the planet. They had dominion, they would reign over it. But by caving to Satan and going his way, didn't God go with Satan? They became subject to Satan. And Satan sort of took the mantle of being the ruler of this world. And we see this in John 12:31. And God says, "Now is judgment of this world. Now the ruler of this world will be cast out." Now the ruler of this world will be cast out. And by the way, going back to prove Adam was given dominion over all the earth. That was Genesis 1:26. But interesting, if you look at Luke 3, verse 38, on the topic of sons of God, we have this lineage that traces all the way from Jesus to back to Adam. And it says, the son of Enosh, the son of Seth, the son of Adam, the son of God. So we see Adam was a son of God. Adam was intended to be one of those sons of God who would have appeared before God in the heavenly council that we see back in Job. So, so what do we have here? What do we have? Yes, the sons of God are angels, and yes, sons of God can also be non-angels, but people who are on God's side. They're children of God in their nature. They're in his image, like God. And we got more verses on that, like Matthew 5:9. Look at this. "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God." You and I can be a son of God. Romans 8:14, it says, "For as many as are led by the Spirit, these are sons of God." And verse 19, so jumping forward just a few verses, it says, "For the, all of creation, there's this earnest expectation of the creation eagerly awaits for the revealing of the sons of God." They're not waiting for the angels. They're not waiting for the rulers of the other planets to be revealed as sons of God. They're waiting for us to have our turn now to be revealed as the sons of God. And this is one of my most favorite Bible verses, 1 John 3:1. It says, "Behold, what manner of love the Father has bestowed on us, that we should be called the children of God. Therefore, the world does not know us, because it did not know him." So, is this not the greatest honor, the most amazing thing? Like, we have sinned, we've done terrible things, and God has not, we've rebelled. We're in rebellion against God, but God did not turn his back on us. Instead, he's trying to save as many of us, call as many of us to him as are willing to go to him. And then he doesn't just say, okay, now you're saved and you can live forever and ever and ever. No, he takes it one step farther and says, you are my children. Imagine this, right? The creator, the almighty, the all-powerful God to which there's none equal to him, who's in this bright light that we can't even gaze into without being obliterated. Like, this God says he wants us to be his children, not to be like the children, his grandchildren, or the great grandkids of like some, intermediary other children he has. No, directly between us and him. He's our father, we're his children. And to me, that just blows my mind. And God does this for all of his creation. All the intelligent beings, God calls his children if they choose to serve him and love him and be with him. Mm-hmm. So thank you so much for asking that great question there, Mark.
Yeah, that's a really, really great one. Awesome. Thank you so much, Jay. Yeah, that was spot on.